Have you ever had one of those moments that makes you stop and wonder, what's happening to me? For me, it was the day I forgot my daughter's name. Just for a second. We were at the breakfast table. She was telling me about her school project, and my mind just went blank. Nothing. Empty. I laughed it off, but deep down that moment terrified me. Over the next few months, things got worse. I'd walk into a room and completely forget why I was there. I'd lose my train of thought right in the middle of a sentence, and my energy? It was gone. I started chugging coffee, staying up late trying to finish work that used to take me half the time. But no matter what I did, my brain felt like it was wrapped in a thick fog. I blamed everything: stress, getting older, not enough sleep, you name it. But a part of me knew something deeper was going on. Then one day, I missed an important meeting at work. Not because I was late, but because I completely forgot it even existed. That was my breaking point. I remember sitting alone in my car that evening, just staring at the steering wheel thinking, how did I get here? I was only 47, but my mind felt decades older. A few days later, I ran into an old friend who happens to be a neuroscientist. He took one look at me and said, "Man, you look like you're running on fumes. You're burning your brain out." He explained how chronic stress, a poor diet, and not getting the right nutrients can literally drain your brain. Kind of like leaving all your phone apps open until the battery dies. Then he said something that hit me like a ton of bricks. The brain doesn't just age, it starves. That night, he sent me a link to something his team had been studying. A blend called Neuro Surge. Now, I tried supplements before, and they were always all marketing and no magic. But this one was different. It wasn't promising superpowers. It was about nourishment, about restoring what my brain had lost over the years. It's packed with over 20 natural ingredients, each backed by solid clinical research, things like olive leaf, bilberry, green tea, and GABA. These are real nutrients that help your brain feel like it can breathe again. It wasn't an overnight miracle, but after a few weeks I started noticing real changes. The fog began to lift. My focus sharpened. And for the first time in what felt like forever, my mind felt clear. I started remembering things again. First, it was the small stuff, like names, passwords, and details from conversations. Then came the bigger things, like the personal goals I'd long since given up on. The constant fatigue faded away, my mood improved, and my performance at work. It was better than ever. I stopped just surviving the day and actually started living it. The moment it all hit home was when my daughter hugged me one morning and said, "Dad, you seem happy again." I realized it wasn't just my brain that had healed. It was me. Look, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to sell you a magic pill. I just know what it feels like to lose yourself, to feel like your mind is slipping away piece by piece. If any of this sounds familiar, maybe it's time to give your brain what it's been desperately missing. Whether it's more rest, better nutrition, or something like Neuro Surge, please take your brain health seriously. Because once you lose your clarity, focus, and peace of mind, you realize those were the things that mattered most. I got my clarity back. I got my energy back. But more importantly, I got myself back. And that is worth everything. Thanks so much for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one.